The Kurdish people, numbering over 40 million, constitute a significant presence in the Middle East. They are the fourth largest ethnic group in the region. Despite their size and historical presence, the Kurds lack a unified, internationally recognized state. This essay will explore the historical circumstances that have led to this situation. We will delve into the impact of European colonialism, arbitrary border divisions, and the denial of Kurdish self-determination. The Kurdish people have endured a long and tumultuous history. The absence of a Kurdish state stands as a stark example of the complexities of nationhood and the lasting impact of historical events. Understanding the Kurdish plight requires a close examination of the forces that have shaped their fate. The Kurds are an ancient people with a rich history spanning millennia. Their origins can be traced back to Indo-European tribes who settled in the mountainous regions of what is now known unofficially as Kurdistan over 4,000 years ago. This region, encompassing parts of modern-day Turkey, Iran, Iraq and Syria, has been the heartland of the Kurds throughout history. Throughout their history, Kurds have maintained a distinct cultural identity, characterized by their own language, traditions and social structures. Despite facing numerous challenges and conquest by various empires, they preserved their cultural heritage and a strong sense of communal identity. This resilience would prove crucial as the Kurds navigated the turbulent waters of 20th century geopolitics. The end of World War I marked a turning point in the history of the Middle East and the fate of the Kurds. The Ottoman Empire, which had ruled over Kurdish areas for centuries, collapsed. This collapse created an opportunity for the Kurds to realize their long-held aspirations for an independent state. The 1920 Treaty of Sèvres, drafted by the victorious Allied powers, offered a glimmer of hope for Kurdish independence. The treaty included provisions for the creation of an independent Kurdistan. However, this dream was short-lived. The Treaty of Sèvres was never ratified and was superseded by the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923. The Treaty of Lausanne made no mention of a Kurdish state, shattering Kurdish hopes for self-determination. The Treaty of Lausanne reflected the prevailing political realities of the time. European colonial powers, primarily Britain and France, were more interested in securing their interests in the region than in recognizing Kurdish aspirations. The Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1916, a secret pact between Britain and France, exemplified this approach. The Sykes-Picot Agreement carved up the Ottoman territories into spheres of influence for the European powers. The agreement paid little heed to the ethnic and religious realities of the region. Kurdistan once again found itself divided. This time it was partitioned among Turkey, Iran, Iraq and Syria. The Kurds were left as minorities in each of these newly formed states, their dream of a unified homeland seemingly dashed. The 20th century witnessed a continuous struggle by the Kurdish people for their rights and recognition. In each of the countries they were divided into, Kurds faced varying degrees of marginalization, discrimination, and outright repression. Their language and culture were suppressed, and their aspirations for autonomy were met with force. In Turkey, the Kurds faced a policy of forced assimilation. The Turkish government denied the very existence of a Kurdish identity, referring to them as Mountain Turks. Kurdish language and culture were suppressed, and any expression of Kurdish identity was met with harsh reprisals. Despite these challenges, the Kurds continued to resist, demanding recognition and respect for their rights. The Kurdish experience in Turkey has been particularly fraught. From the early days of the Turkish Republic, the Kurds faced a systematic campaign of assimilation and denial. Their language and culture were banned, and any attempt to assert their identity was met with brutal repression. The Turkish government's policy towards the Kurds was characterized by a deep-seated fear of Kurdish separatism. This fear led to the implementation of policies designed to eradicate any sense of Kurdish identity. The use of the Kurdish language was prohibited in public spaces, and Kurdish cultural expressions were suppressed. The Turkish government sought to integrate the Kurds by force, denying their distinct identity and subsuming them under a Turkish national identity. While Turkey pursued a policy of forced assimilation, the Kurds in Iran, Iraq, and Syria faced their own set of challenges. In Iran, the Kurds faced discrimination and marginalization. Their cultural and linguistic rights were restricted, and they were denied any form of autonomy. In Iraq, the Kurds faced brutal repression under the Ba'athist regime of Saddam Hussein. This repression culminated in the Anfal campaign of the late 1980s, a genocidal campaign that saw the systematic killing and displacement of thousands of Kurds. Syria's policies towards the Kurds have been inconsistent, ranging from periods of relative tolerance to brutal crackdowns. Despite these challenges, the Kurds in each of these countries have continued to resist, demanding their rights and struggling for autonomy. The Kurdish question remains a significant geopolitical challenge in the 21st century. The complex interplay of internal and external factors, regional power dynamics, and international indifference has contributed to the persistence of the Kurdish issue. The rise of the Islamic State and the subsequent war against the terrorist group have brought the Kurdish issue to the forefront of international attention. Kurdish forces, particularly in Syria and Iraq, have played a crucial role in combating ISIS, demonstrating their military capabilities and their commitment to regional stability. The future of the Kurds remains uncertain. The dream of a unified, independent Kurdistan faces significant obstacles. However, the Kurdish people have shown remarkable resilience and determination in the face of adversity. The international community has a moral imperative to support the Kurdish people in their struggle for self-determination. A peaceful and just resolution to the Kurdish question is essential for lasting peace and stability in the Middle East. Only through dialogue, respect for human rights, and a commitment to finding a just solution can the Kurds achieve their rightful place in the family of nations. Please subscribe to our channel for more historical insights and updates.